First of all, gentlemen, were any of you out to see the properties?
Yes, I was at both.
You were at both?
I didn't go to any.
And I was not at either one either. Have any of you spoken with anyone regarding the variance requests before us tonight?
No.
No.
And do either of you seem fit to require abstaining from any vote tonight?
No.
No.
Okay. I'll consider the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting in January.
A second?
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of 2 months ago. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. They're approved. All right, we'll get right into it. First of all, we have the Bellin Hospital issue about Webster Avenue.
Yes.
That would be you. Could you come forward and make your case?
Well, essentially, I don't know if you reviewed the packet, but the city is proposing to reconstruct South Webster, and as part of that, they were proposing to narrow the driveways to meet the existing condition. And Bellin is simply requesting that they maintain the existing driveway openings. The biggest reason is both driveways take delivery vehicles, plus there's the access control facilities that kind of narrow it down shortly after you get into the property. So they feel it would be, safer and easier access to just maintain what they already have.
No, you're with Robbie Lee.
Correct.
Has anyone from the city approached you about, hey, what do you guys think of our plan? Do you have any comments on it? How was this plan put together and how did it interact with you?
I think that Bellin Hospital was initially contacted regarding, the proposed street plans and saw that they were proposing to narrow it down. And then we went through a bunch of meetings with city staff, and this was the, avenue they said we had to take if we wanted to maintain the existing driveways.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it all got started.
Greg or Tom, you have any questions?
No.
Okay, you could have a seat, sir. Mark, you have any comment on the city's behalf regarding this issue?
No, it was a Department of Public Works project with the road reconstruction, and by wanting to keep them open, they just need the variance.
So this Department of Public Works was aware of the meeting tonight and,
Yes.
okay.
We don't have any issue with it.
I'll explain my theory on this. Number one, I'm not satisfied that the applicant has really presented a lot of convincing problems with why this should be the case. Mostly inconveniences. On the other hand, I can understand where the city road people that are putting this plan together would have said, well, my gosh, we can't propose a new road construction project without adhering to the ordinances. We can't very well come in right off the bat with a plan that says it violates our ordinances, or we'd be the one trying to get a variance. So I don't know the whole situation, that's why I asked, sir, but I gather it was a situation where somebody decided that if somebody was going to approve these smaller driveways, it was going to come in some sort of public venue instead of having it settled by the applicant or by the principals in a preliminary meeting. So that's my characterization of it, and it's maybe a long-winded argument on why I offer it to you to consider those, but I don't really have a problem with either denying it because there's not enough convincing reason, or approving it because this is obviously something that would have been ordinarily handled, but they needed us to rubber stamp it. So that's my 2 cents worth.
I walk by those driveways quite frequently, and making them smaller would not be a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, maintaining status quo is basically,
With deliveries and so forth.
Yeah,
That's kind of my thought.
Yeah, and that would be my thought too, but then again, the ordinance is the ordinance, but that's why I said I could kind of go either way. I can see the argument strongly in either. I could present an argument either way, and so I wanted to present that argument those two arguments to you guys in case you guys resonated with one or the other, but,
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic
Yeah.
that goes through there,
Mhm.
and you're not talking, that many young people. There's a lot of older folks
Right.
navigating those.
I will say I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, that's the thing, you get on clearance, I think, is not a bad thing either. So I would say that we move forward and approve their request.
All right, make a motion.
I make a motion to approve Velen's request as stated.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion made before us to approve the Bellin Hospital request for variance. All in favor?
Aye.
3-0. You have your
All right,
variance.
thank you much.
Yep. Okay, this is usually where I say the long-suffering to ruins, but you weren't suffering more than 6 minutes, so. Could you guys come forward and make your case?
Sure. We are proposing to rebuild a structure that was on our 4-acre property when we purchased it in May of 2015. That building collapsed last February, and we came before the city to get permits to simply rebuild it and found out we couldn't for various reasons, so we are here seeking your approval to get that building rebuilt.
Okay.
We purchased the property with the intention of using all the existing buildings on the property, so.
And one question I have for you regarding this is, can you help us understand how big that barn was that fell down?
It was 24 by 30.
It's 35 by 28.
Thank you.
Okay, that's about what I figured, a little less than 1,000 square feet. Yeah, okay. And what you're proposing is how many square feet?
480.
Yeah, I think that we have a
Well,
drawing that's
that-
24 by 20.
It's a little bit, actually it's bigger than that. It's 20 by 22, but it's got a lean-to, so the actual building itself is only 16 by 20.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a,
And the variance request comes in for the aggregate total of the accessory structures.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and then it may or may, you raised the issue anyway of whether it's bigger than the square footprint of your house,
Mhm.
perhaps the total.
Yep.
Because we already have an outbuilding that exceeds that, I
Mhm.
believe.
So it's smaller than the one that was there?
Yeah.
The one
Yes.
you're proposing?
well, because a couple other things come into play too. The original structure was in the ESA, so now we're not gonna build in the ESA. We're gonna build outside of it, you can kind of see on there. So that structure's coming down, and then you can have only 2 extra structures, and that's all we're gonna have when this is all completed. The one structure, where it says 26, that's the one that fell. The one that's like right behind it, that fell, it's gonna fall. So we're tearing that one out, and then there's another little shed kind of on the north end of the property that the items that are in there are gonna go in the new building, and that one's gonna come down too. So at the end of the day, we're only gonna have 2 structures. It's just our square footage is gonna be exceeding what the city allows. So that's what we're going to get the variance.
And Mark, just as a point of interest, there's nothing in the ordinance that suggests any different consideration for the fact that a lot is 4 acres in size.
No, our ordinance does not grant additional size or height based on lot size.
There's nothing special about the zoning of this piece of property, it's R1.
Correct.
Now, for where they are, is that considered residential or agricultural?
Residential.
Really?
Within city limits, there is no agricultural zoning. We have the rural residential and we have the R1 districts for our typical single-family zoning.
Because your folks, all your neighbors,
Yes, there's
Yeah.
cows across the street, and
There are.
horses over there, and cornfields all around us.
That area is a mixture of R1 and RR rural residential. Rural residential would be the closest thing we have. But within incorporated limits, we don't use agricultural zoning designations.
I think that's what we're here for. I don't have a problem with this.
no.
And unless we become violently in agreement, I suggest we let the Deruins go on their way.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance request.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion before us to approve the request that the Deruins have on South Grandview Road for a variance to build a proposed garage. The The motion before us is to grant that variance as requested. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You have your variance, 3-0.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Inauspicious start there.
So we could consider an adjournment if someone is so inclined.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion is made to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're done.